Rajni Tiwari, and this is my book Road Towards World Peace through Walt Whitman and K.K.N. Daruwala's poems, and it is also available, we can say, in Amazon and as ebook. And I hope you like this book. And I'm going to read out few chapters from this book, and I hope you will like it. So. Influence of Bhagavad Gita on Walt Whitman and K.K.N. Daruwala poems. Abstract. We can say that Walt Whitman and K.K.N. Daruwala were highly influenced by Bhagavad Gita because it gives the solution to various problems. It teaches us how to live life, and Bhagavad Gita helps to learn about Indian culture, traditions as well as values. So therefore, through their poems, Walt Whitman and K.K.N. Daruwala has helped in preserving old values and tradition as well as preserving Indian culture. Bhagavad Gita mainly focuses on karma. It also teaches us that only body dies and soul is eternal. It tells us that everyone is part of God and one should do good deeds. One should not discriminate on the basis of caste, creed or religion, or we can say economic discrimination should not be there. And even gender, you can say differences on the basis of gender or economic inequality should not prevail in this world. And there should be universal brotherhood, comradeship and fraternity. There should be one world, one religion. So now we come to introduction. K.K.N. Daruwala believed in Bhagavad Gita. He had great respect for the teachings of Krishna. We can say that in his poems he believed in good deeds. He believed in what he saw and observed. K.K.N. Daruwala, he had been an IPS officer, so he has written about what all he saw, and he has written even about his childhood, the way he saw the partition of India and Pakistan and how he came all over from Lahore to India. He had even received a Sahitya Academy Award, and so he has written all about his experiences since childhood till he grew up. And he wrote about India-Pakistan partition mainly in his novel that is Love in Salt Desert, on which Refugee movie was based, and one can even go through to gain more knowledge, and you can see it through picture, each and everything what all happened. And so K.K.N. Daruwala believed in Bhagavad Gita. He had great respect for the teachings of Krishna, and Krishna, he only talks about karma. And we can see that in his poems. He believed in good deeds, he believed in what he saw and observed. He could analyze what is right and what is wrong. He felt that right deed will get the right reward, and was against wrongdoers or who encourage social evils in society. He feels that those who do illegal work like corruption and take bribery should be strictly punished. And he feels that even Bhagavad Gita says that at last the right person wins and the truth triumphs. Though it is difficult nowadays, but not impossible. And the students should be taught about the moral values. We can say that moral values, they are degrading these days in society, and these things, value based education is very important nowadays. So students should be taught about their poems, and they learn a lot about Walt Whitman and K.K.N. Daruwala's poems. And moral values can help in developing a strong and great nation. Bhagavad Gita should be taught in every school, and even by the parents to their children, which can bring tremendous change in our society. As we are seeing, there is moral deprivation, degradation taking place in our society, and we should teach Bhagavad Gita as well as the poems of KK and Daruwala to the students in schools and colleges, and so that they can be aware of the things happening in our society, and they can learn about our culture, our values, as well as our tradition. And it can thus help in preserving the same, you can say, like culture, values, as well as tradition. They can thus help in building a very great nation, which is corrupt free society, and there are no dowry deaths, and which are taking place in our society in a very great strength. And now KK and Daruwala, he writes about Draupadi's exploitation, which took place many thousands of years back, and which can be read in Bhagavad Gita too. Though KK and Daruwala, this episode is from Mahabharata, where Draupadi was exploited by Kauravas. Though KK and Daruwala believed that Pandavas, they were right, and therefore they won the war at last. He believed in them, and he believed in what Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, but he contradicts the same too, because he says that he has made use of logical reasoning over here. He's questioning, means everything can't be right, and you have the right to question why these things existed in our past, in our culture, in our tradition, and is it right or not. He is just questioning that why Draupadi was first exploited, first by the Pandavas and then by the Kauravas. Why did Yudhishthira play the game Jua, that is gambling, and then put Draupadi's life at stake? Why didn't Yudhishthira, why didn't he save her, and now he comes to one war through cheating. Though the fight was between Pandavas and Kauravas, so there was a fight between Pandavas and Kauravas in Mahabharata, and Krishna took the side of Pandavas. So he, this KK and Daruwala, through his poem, he's saying, though the fight was between Pandavas and Kauravas, and Pandavas won the war, but KK and Daruwala feels that they won the war by cheating. This is KK and Daruwala, he is feeling that Pandavas, they won the war, that is through cheating. And why did they kill their own teacher, and killing Karna by foul means and then spreading the wrong message was again wrong thing done by Pandavas. He has analyzed the things in his own way, because when a story is there, when a poem is there, you will try to interpret it in your own way. You can even question it. So he has made use of logical reasoning. They were not truly right in all sense. They were not perfect. KK and Daruwala has analyzed the whole situation, and then he came to this conclusion that Pandavas won by cheating. And he sometimes feels that why did Mahabharata took place? Why did this Mahabharata, that is why did this war take place? He feels that Mahabharata took place because Pandavas were not given 7 villages. That was their rights. If they would have been given 7 villages, then they would have not gone for war. If they would have been given 7 villages by their cousins, so this war would not have taken place. Why did this war take place? So what was the reason behind it? Okay, so he is doing some kind of logical reasoning, and he is even questioning that no one is perfect. Even Pandavas, they won through cheating. Okay, and no one is perfect, and they made use of foul means, and why did they gamble? Why, first of all, and put their wife's life at stake, and why Draupadi was exploited. He is questioning all these things, and why the war took place. And though Pandavas won at last, but still somewhere it was their fault too. And he is saying that if everyone should be given their rights. If people, they won't get their rights, they will definitely try to fight for it. And people, they do make, even if they are right, even if they win at last, they are making use of foul means, they are cheating, and then they are winning. Now comes Charwak. Kiki and Darwala feels that it was wrong when Charwak was burned to death during Ram's reign because he spoke the truth. Charwak spoke because people who were welcoming Ram after he returned after winning the war were happy and glad. Even during the time when someone else was the king. Therefore, he got angry and spoke against them and how they can be happy and glad during Ram's enemies' reign and during other kings' reign too. Or they have developed this habit for whosoever is the king, they would praise him only. He was against this kind of flattery. So now again we go back to Ramayana. It's kind of a myth, and it's based on myth, this story, and it's a you can say it was written thousands of years back. And in this story also means this person Keki and Darwala, he's trying to analyze like why Charwak, he was burned to death for speaking the truth. He was Charwak, he spoke against those people who were welcoming Ram after he returned back to his kingdom after killing Ravan. So people started welcoming him, so he was against all these things because he said that you welcomed other kings also who were Ram's enemies. You welcome them also, and now you are welcoming Ram when he has become the king, and you are welcoming him after he has come after winning the war with Ravana, and now you are welcoming him. So is it your habit of welcoming each and every king and whosoever becomes the king, and are you habitual of all these things? Or are you really from your heart you are trying to welcome the king? So for speaking this kind of truth, he was burned to death. So what kind of society, or what kind of people were there at that time, that they killed this person for speaking the truth? Was truth really prevailing at that time? Was truth really given value at that time? So he's trying to analyze all those things. Right reward for the right deed. Keki and Daruwala believed in the karma theory, that the people who do right deeds will get the right rewards, and those who do wrong deed will get be punished, and they should be strictly punished because wrong deeds affect the whole humanity. Therefore, evil deeds like corruption and bribery should be banned in society. Keki and Daruwala wants to make this world a better place to live in, and he feels that those who are doing good deeds, they should be rewarded, they should be given reward, and those who are doing bad deeds, they should be punished. So he believes in karma theory, which was given by Krishna, which can be even be learned through Bhagavad Gita. You can get more knowledge about it through Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much.